Hello and welcome to Mobile Adventures, where we will do a little bit of that today. Somewhat. Anyway, the usual thing, this is done on a phone. You might hear clawing and scratching noises to make certain maneuvers happen. Otherwise, it's held at a wide stance to prevent that. However, it comes at the cost of performance, such as walking into trees, buildings, and pits of death. So I kind of was busy on a big project. It's easy for me to say anything. And right now, I'm going to do a couple of things. One is, as I mentioned, the tower looked kind of off, and I want to fix that. So once we get the roof on, then I'll worry about everything else. And what's even worse about it being off is that made a decorative molding to go around the tower, and stupidly I put this on top of it. So everything just looks funny. And we're not moving. Well, let's just take care of this end. And I've also determined that the height of this roof was way pressing, way too steep, and back in we are. As Jeff Edwards would say, right you are. Now, I have not been sleeping for quite a while in-game, working on kind of setting up for a bigger project. Alright, so break that. We'll take care of the rest of it in a moment. As we make our slow descent down. I know I could use a shovel, but I would rather use that for the big project that we will do on dryer phase. During washer phase, we'll work around here. Alright, phantoms should be out by now. And now they should be dying. We will not know, because by the time we get back to where we can see if they were existing to begin with, we're going to be too late to see it. No, we weren't. They just barely popped out. Alrighty then. Back to recollecting this. And stupid me, I put the roof on this thing, which I shouldn't have. That was not the intended design. And I go and totally ignore everything that I wanted to do. How about over here? So I'm going to change this quite a bit. And since I know that most people are significantly younger than I am, they probably don't know who Jeff Edwards is. Oh. Anyway, he was a game show host from the early 70s, not when I remembered him, all the way into the 90s, although what I remember him for most, well, besides Jackpot, the American 88-89 release of that game show, but what I remember from the early 80s is Starcade, which was a game show based on playing arcade games. He actually replaced a host, which the show wasn't in syndication at the time. He replaced a host that, more or less just didn't really care about the games all that much, and I don't have any of this stuff, which could help. Yep, that. Pressing the X. As per usual, we are very well prepared, but then again, as I said before, I don't want to wreck the structure. I don't want to strip any oak that I don't want to strip. Always a bad idea to walk with an axe, especially with touch controls. And that's gonna go away. It's not like dirt is a rare item. Break. So anyway, he was an American game show host. And I remember him for Starcade. And he replaced a host that didn't really care much about learning the games and how they work. Jeff Edwards decided that he didn't want to fall in the same fate that the original host did. And he went and learned about the games that they play on the show. Not only did he learn about them, he started liking to play them. So he actually knew how to play the games. Well, I know it stinks that we've lost a few of these, but we could always make more. It's not like we don't have any spruce logs that we could acquire at some point. Alright, there we go. We have everything that I think we got. Yeah, so nothing was supposed to be built on this part here. But then I went and built stuff on this part here. These were supposed to be lit up. And then the roof would be built on this part. But I went and did whatever. So I mean, we got a couple of big spruce trees that we made. Whenever we get the village going, the double road is going to be Butcher Boulevard. Gonna have a ton of butchers to trade with stuff there. So anyway, let's get things somewhat correct, and you can go here. Nope, not there. I'm gonna go 3 high. and then we come on in. That is not what I said. I switched over. Well, it's doing the small button thing this because the phone has an organic LED display. The operating system, and we only have 4 of those left. Really? The operating system. Nope, that's not where I placed. That was jumping. What it likes to do to protect the display is it will occasionally... Oh, I made that. It occasionally will shrink the buttons down. So when we have inventory, it's 8 across. Or they're big buttons and there's 6 across. Which, to be honest, I'd rather have the... Okay, I can't reach, I take it. And we ran out of those too. Whoop. Well, let's get back down and get more. I know I got some in inventory. Let's grab this. Let's grab this. Let's head back out and, yep, down. Actually, we can just go to the basement and grab some stuff. I think we can do just that. Eventually, I'm going to fill that all in. And there's a stutter. Well, the phone is kind of old and the game's getting more complicated as it... Okay, yeah, we do need more of that. How are we doing on steps? We'll just grab 5 more because we can. We can grab 5 more because we can. That might mean grab 5 more. Game does not like to play. So I haven't really done anything with the mansion. Working on a big project, which I will... Alright, how about we move the player? That's a good idea. And go to sleep. I swear one of these was a tree I chopped up to help make that. So we've cleared it up. We've yeah, I don't know if there's going to be any real way of making that look good. Well, I'm going to try. Ain't it? There it is. Okay, this one's rather short, so we can just bust this one. Oh, in fact, this is the one that I kind of busted up. Now I don't have a way, so... Yeah, I busted this one up so you wouldn't see it. In fact, I think the entry, yeah, there's the entry that I actually had for it. we need to go up another? That's not what I wanted. The game really likes to not play along. So anyway, the whole point of Jeff Edwards is, that was one of his catchphrases on the game shows that he hosted, is right you are. And even on Starcade he would say that. Yeah, am I going to wait for you? Oh, definitely not now. Yeah, let's just... Alright. Okay, not what I wanted. Not gonna matter much. Alright, so and break these down, quite a few of them to be sure. Alright, let's break that down. Yep, we're pressing buttons. Can react to those. Silly idea, but probably can try it. And we are intentionally trying to overproduce. Okay, we're hitting X. We can always store extras elsewhere. Oh, we got 3. I thought I counted 2. And there's... well... nope. And we're getting rid of it. Nope, we're not placing there. We're getting rid of it. Now we are looking for... some oak. There's plenty of it over here still. We're going to break. We're pressing a button. Don't think that will be enough. I know that the infill is going to be significantly less than that of the border. Just like the regular roof, it's got the spruce for the border. Now how about switching? There we go. You also gotta enchant another book. I was gonna say, during washer phase, I mean, if we're in the middle of this, we're going to finish it off and hope it looks halfway decent. Because at these smaller scales, it's not exactly easy to do. Okay. Now we need that. We're playing with the dirt. And we placed a dirt block where it shouldn't exist. Gotta love them touch controls. Alright. Oh, no. And definitely not that way. Should be putting those over. Oh, how about we choose? Game loves ignoring. Anyway, spruce planks. 1, 2, 2, 2. Not helping. 3, 3, 3. Alright, so we're just missing one. Actually, we won't do that. Now we will switch over to this and this. You're going to see it's going to be very difficult to make this look good on a small scale. But we're trying to make a steep roof. We're going to spend some more time working on this mansion on or off camera. Because now it's going to get harder. Being now we are going to go back to planks. Not exactly right. In fact, not right at all. Give. I think this is going to be one of those it is what it is type deals. Now we can afford at this point to not sleep. As the sun is setting, because I'm so quick at getting things done. And as you can also see why I decided to go with far more of the spruce planks. It's going to make itself very evident soon. I did not get that back. We might have to use some planks to substitute in for the pressing a button. We're pressing buttons. Hey, there we go. Kind of like what I wanted. since we got plenty of these, I'm just going to use one to place there. Whoa, 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 whoa. Probably don't want to do that yet. Alright, we can move. Okay, so we've got plenty of these things. You know, we don't have a fence. So I think that's how we can top this sucker right off. But nope. This wasn't supposed to be there, and that was. I'll put a topper here in a moment. Yeah. How about? So, nope, I didn't ask for X. Place that there. Kind of need to do the interior. This. Pressing. Alright, that will be high enough. Alright, we are getting close to the end of washer phase. Nope, not what I asked. Incorrect position. Wrong. Not the correct position. Correct. Now we have to actually go outside to make our little topper if we don't have that available. So again, another project is to make it so we can get in here. And again, it is what it is. It was just way too... It's just the scale is a little small. We'll take that out. Should have slept, but I didn't. We gotta go to the basement anyway. Stutter there again. Right, do we have... Yes, we do. We have fence pieces already. I think that'll be enough. Alright, so planks there, steps there. We need the other stuff for the project coming up ahead. Guess we'll have enough. We're going to need to go outside for this one. Alright, I might not be doing some things that I might want to have done. Alright, so up the tower we go. Put the sneak on so we don't fall off. This. Placing. Okay, maybe I was too close. Slow descent. But I'm not wasting my materials because, as I said, the dryer phase will be the bigger project and we're going to need the shovels. Alright. Sword. Get out of sneak. We're moving. And that's seeds. Yeah, we don't have a lot of time left, so... No, we're not eating. In fact, our time is up, but we're going to finish up with what we were doing. That's, well, feeding the animals. I was going to take care of the sheep, but that's actually, I set them aside so that they could yeah, we're going to be going into a bit of overtime here. Press. Shear. Shear. Perhaps the shear button means shear. Perhaps the shear button means shear. Perhaps the shear's broke, so it's not going to do anything. Break. Break. Oh, yeah, so wolves don't happen. Shear. And we get that shear. And we have the middle section where sheep can't reach. How about we shear? We're not whacking, we're shearing. We're shearing. We're shearing. You know what? I'm getting tired. This game wants to ignore commands. Everybody out of the safe area. You are not going into the safe area. You're actually safe right now. Alright, you know, this is getting a little long in the tooth here. We're sharing, especially since you're not listening to commands. Alright, so away that'll go. Shovel will go back. We're going to take care of the animals as promised. Alright, now we're going to look at the... It is what it is. Actually, I think that looks okay. I think that looks pretty decent. Looks a lot better than what was there before. On the sides, it might look a little strange. Yeah, it doesn't look bad at all. Now we're going to take care of these guys. Starting at the top with the chickens. One of these is not. One of these needs to be fed. One of these needs to be... There it is. We are not going to whack any of them intentionally. Not wanting to... No, see, that's exactly what I was trying not to do. Yeah, the clothes are sitting in the washing machine for a little bit. In a lot of cases, people let their stuff sit way longer than I'm letting it right now. And we're feeding. Yeah, we also, when we're done this, before we go to the big project, we are going to do something with our 33 enchantments here. Yep, you can feed. You can feed. You can even press the button and it won't do it. Feed. All right. We've done that. Place the extras here, place the extras there, place the extras there. I'm gonna put away some stuff. I mean, from this distorted angle, it looks kind of cruddy, but it is what it is, and I don't think it looks too bad, considering the scale of the game and the scale that I'm working with. Yeah, that don't look bad. So, some things go away, and I'm just looking at stuff. Oh, more. I'm going to put away some food. And yeah, I think actually scatterbrain here. I think because it's not going to take terribly long, I'm just going to enchant a book now. Now we have extra books. So far we have one for projectile protection. Let's see what we get here. Smite. Well, I know it's not considered one of the best things, but yep, that goes there. These go here. One of these can come along. And yeah. Alrighty, enough of that. We're going to sleep, and then we are going to call this good till dryer phase, and then we go off to our project. See you then. And we're back. So it's time to head to our other project. Yes, another project. And it is happening on that hill over there. I've noticed that horses would spawn in that area, so as this place is going to get overcrowded at some point, maybe hopefully with villagers, horse breeding farm needs to be somewhere else. Now over there, you might also notice you see a building and a ramp. That's because we built a subway. Now it's only serving 2 stops fully right now. You notice lack of rails. That's by design because horses can be a lot faster. So it's a horse subway because Minecraft. So we're going to the next stop, which is the horse breeding. And this is designed, it's supposed to be designed that if we drift a little bit, we're not going to fall off. However, going the other way, it doesn't quite work. So, kind of need to work on that. Anyway, here's the second stop, and we have these little risers here, so you don't have to make the horse jump. And a safe place to keep them so they don't wander away. And of course the standard door so you can see them. And we picked up mountain fresh up. Well, let's have some. So anyway, didn't meet exactly. And again, this is the zombie proofing, is to have everything a half slab above. Anyway, I marked off where it's going to go, and you can see here, this actually was devoid of trees until now, and I made 3 saddles and have 3 horses. So what's going to happen is I'm going to build a stable next to this land here. I mean, directly next to it. And if I can get to the top, should be easy now, which hasn't been fully cut down. And there's a gap that needs to be closed. We have a little bit of an area here where the horses can be can romp around to make it a little more realistic. So I'm gonna go right up to here. This we don't have to take out this chunk. That won't be necessary. Break. I'm thinking I'll just take a break. Take it up to where, you know, the steepness gets a little much. Alright, got a little more give on that end. So what we need now is a foundation. I actually am going to take it then. I'm a little short on building blocks to make the foundation, so let's just have one giant shear wall. So, and we're very close to... Alright, here we are. This is where, as far as we're going for now. Alright, so this is where we are going to, and we'll use the same move. I am just thinking right now, so alright, where there's going to be structural support, we go down to stone. And just to stay consistent, alright, so this will be the corridor. These will be the stables. Now, it will be a little different on this side, because we're going to have the stables. And let's see. Oh, we got coal, which we could use. Take a little hit, but I also notice we still are at level 30. I should have realized that when we're at 33. I could enchant another book when we get to that point in time. One, two. Oh, this is not right. Over here. Placing. So I'm just going to put that there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we need a bed out this way. Place. I want to light this place up. Now we'll go after this skeleton. How about the sword? And we got a slight problem with the design. Just a slight one. Very minor. We are going to fix that now. Again, once we see we're okay here. We gotta always pay attention because we're not sure if somebody might or something might try and sneak up on us. Seem to be doing okay. Said if we're a little off on the measurements, which way would be the easier? I don't know. This be a wall, obviously. Alright, so 2 stables here, 4 stables here. Bed over there. Okay, move. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, move. Break. Move. Not the shovel, although that had to eventually die. For here. So we're still at least one away. And we can break. Break. So now we got that. What's going to happen is there's going to be 3 floors. And some iron. 3 floors. With stables on all 3. 3rd floor being the other side of this. So we are going to dig down to put in a floor, so we will have an entry point, and we have a pillager, which we are not exactly ready to fight. Because there is the pillager outpost, but it's way further that way. Ow! Where? Where? I thought it was going to be harder to defeat. So what we're going to do here is, I'm not sure exactly where the entry point is going to be, but I'm going to put it in here. Alright, so let's be moving. We got tons of big trees here. now are logs, dirt, and the other stuff. Get rid of a bunch of this stuff, creating the X. What we're going to do is the back wall will just use that. Let's just see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 might be high enough. If I can just line my... Nope. Not what I want. Although I went a little high there on purpose. Actually, we're going to get rid of that. And we have gravel. No, we're breaking this. And of course over here. We're going to count 4 this way. Actually, we do want 5. No, actually, we don't. Let's just... Okay, how about the dirt? I just want to count off here. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, yes. Alright, no, we're not going to do that. So, good there. Not 100% certain on others, though. This has got to go because it's in the way. It's a big one. So we need to build the structure. let me go this way. Let's see if we can find some sheep so we don't have to deal with hiding. There's two. Wrong color. Okay, when something... Hey, when there's loose change and it just makes a consistent rhythm. There's the third sheep that we could use. Now we won't have to deal with other things. Or jumping. Our toolbox is in the... Okay, over here. Toolbox is down in the tunnel because I was working on the tunnel that goes to the... it continues downward. I'll show you what we have, but I'm not going... But we're not going to be doing it because we're not quite ready for it. We kind of need that for our own, and we're pressing buttons. We're pressing a button. Need a bed. But over here is the subway stop for the Pillager Outpost. But as you can see, we've hit a little snag, which is why this gangway is a little short. And we got to get rid of the water source, but it dumps us pretty much right there. Then of course this affords us some view out, which I'll light up a little bit when I take care of it. Make our own crafting table for the immediate project. Bed in hand. And we can jump. I'll place it right here for now. Plus, we won't have to deal with phantoms. Well, we already made it to the top in terms of but there's a lot of wood in this tree. Yeah, this tree needs to go. It's in the way. It's great that we got some big ones. things is the canopy of this one is connected to the other big tree, which definitely does not help in terms of being able to see if we've missed anything or not. In fact, I think we kind of need one of those now. Jump for no reason. I know we got one down there, but let's just get one of these actually need 5 of them. Nope. And we're just doing random things instead of what's needed. Alright, so we got 6 of these. Give us this, the one I was pressing. Alright, you know, that'll be fun. We're pressing this one now. Damn, this game just does not listen. Oh wait, have that. So, this. These things. And we ran out. Okay, so next. We're moving. Again, that's more of a realistic stability looking thing. So your 4 will definitely be high enough. Now this, we're gonna go out a little more. So, yeah, brake. Undermine a pillar, which doesn't look too realistic, but we'll just not undermine a pillar. Okay. Alright, so yeah, we're gonna have to clear this. More coal. Nope, we're pressing buttons. Definitely going to help us, that's for sure. Big name. How about we grab? All right. Not too bad so far. Brake. We keep braking. Yeah, finally. Supposed to fill in the voids. That way we don't have to render this area. Less things for bad guys to spawn into. This is in the way, which, whatever. Guess this one. Up, okay, yep, that's kinda what's there. And we got one of these guys in the way. Got two. Brake. those away for the time being. These two giant trees, though. Oh, this one goes way up. Brake. We're pressing buttons. Should react to that. Wow, this is a tree. Alright, let's grab the ones that fell. This may take a while. Oh, alright, let's change. No! Now we change. Alright, we reached the top. Let's just break some. So that will become planks. Okay, you did switch. Hand was over it, so I couldn't see that it did. I see another log in there. So that looks like it's taken care of. Okay, how about not wasting an axe? I see another one in there. Yes, I do. I see a bunch more. I don't know if I can break, get to them all. Let's find out. Oh, that's another tree altogether. Break. Might just have to let what exists decompose, then we can figure out where to go from. No, how about we switch? You're wasting resources. All right, so that's another tree over there. Need as many of these. That might be too close. Is there a place we can put these? Yeah, there it is. How about one there? And one there. And one here. And since I have another one, that might be too close. Don't really care. Things to work better than that. There we go. Where I actually wanted it. So you might be noticing I'm putting cross bracing here, but I'm not putting it there. That's because the stone wall acts as a major support. This, let's go away for now. Just relocate it. How easy is that? In fact, here there won't be a support because this is going to be more or less a ramp. And there. And then pressing buttons. Switching to that. So I won't put one there because we're going to need this area for climbing. Oh, we have way too many of these. Oh, it's turning pink already. Yes, they are. Jumping. Started. Oh, there it is. Well, I could just look for the stump that I left behind. That might be a hint as to where we were. about we break this? Oh, we wrecked this one. So that we're pressing becomes these. Break. More axes? No, we don't. But we made a crafting table, so we should be okay. I was gonna say we'll just punch the rest of this one. Many of them? No, we only made 2. Make a third. No, we are placing trees. That's too close to anything. In fact, let's get this out of hand. This here, this here. Might need that, I don't know. Alright, so that tree is completely disintegrating, so that means we got everything. Now we're gonna have to make those butt ends again anyhow. Alright, let's... Nope, I did not place. I want to jump. Yeah, like I said, over here. The stone will act as the support. Here I'm saying that and then ignoring it. Dirt touches wood. Yeah, why are we throwing things? Now let's change. I want to change. Change. Wow, concept. Nope, over here. Nope. Let's go this way. I think there was a cave. Yeah, there was one. We can move. We can move. And we did. Not exactly what we were looking for. Now we're going to place. Place. Hit. Alright, so I mean, that little kablooey kind of helped a little bit, but now we need to be moving. Okay, over here. There, this is kind of acting like an anchor. Because I'm not thinking this 100% of the way through here, because we got a deck going on here, so that needs to go all the way up. So things will be slightly more elevated than the break. Try being in the middle. Which makes things a little more difficult. Kind of acts like a little bit of an anchor. See, there's stone back there, so not correct. Place. And when we get the horses moved in, we'll widen this out a little bit. Already running out of that stuff. Okay, we're pressing buttons. Now we get rid of stuff that we don't need. Alright. Inventory. Goodbye. Goodbye. We'll get more of those. See you later. We have more than enough of this. We're getting rid. There we go. So he's doing this. Well. Like I said, this will be a 3-story barn. And we're breaking. Don't have any more. Nope, we're not ducking. Break. More stone. Alright, so we get this. And we have and we could probably mine down here at some point. Right now we're just looking to get ourselves a foundation here. Get some iron. Nice jump. Glad the jump button did its job. Well, it kind of did. Especially that time. One more should make this a safer area. There we go. Jumping. Oh, one just grew right in front of me. Okay, there's a shovel. Break. Or we could give me the block that I was looking for. That would be even better. Nope, not correct. Break. There we go. Now we got that. Alright, so this is what we need. Now this seems redundant, but these are lighting this way, and these are lighting into the horse stables that will be there. So now what we gotta do, we're pressing. So we kind of need to do this as well. We're pressing. So what I want to do is let's see here. We're pressing. Of course we're not going to do anything. Alright, we need to go in a couple. Or I need. Alright, I need things to cooperate. New thing to try. Over here. Perhaps I want to be over here. Place. Not going to do it that way. Have a slight bend in the track here. Even this might not be enough. Well, see, this is in and out, so I think that will work. So let's... No, I don't want to do that. I want to do this. Break. Nice if things... No, I don't want to do that. I want to... turn around. Place. We kind of have to. Actually, what we can do. No, that's gonna be the way. Alright, so we need our logs. 1, 2. 4. But we're not doing that. Place. See if orientation matters here, or it's gonna do as needed. And I think that's what it did before. Pressing. Of course it falls over. Well, yep, place and sleep. Alright, let's move. Break. Why can't we just place where I want them to? That's not correct. Yeah, I don't even know if that matters. Alright, that's why that didn't work. Turn. Okay, that is not correct. Nope, I did not place that. I want to switch. To switch. Switch. The correct answer was switch. Good job. Of course we're going to run out of logs. How else is this going to work? Nope, that's not what I wanted. What a surprise. Can we just do the simple task? The answer is obviously no. Does that look lopsided as anything because of the way the ground is over there? Nope. Once again, we lost. Okay. Nope. Nope. No, I want choice. Alright, that was having old people moments there. How about we switch? Again, the game just does not listen. Nope, we're not ducking. Gonna move that slightly out of the way. Nope, not correct. Not what I said. Break. This is not correct either. jumping. Okay, and that is facing the correct way on that side. Those are now facing correctly on these sides. And what about this side? Yes, it is. So that's all good now. We can switch. Food. Now over here where I'm placing. Oh, not the correct answer. That is not the one that I gave. And this was a dumb idea to start. Well, actually, it doesn't matter. So you're not going to see it either way. It's the corners where it matters. We're getting close to the end of this particular episode anyway, so any more hatchets? Yes, we do that. Just so far away. Give me a break. I've done further than that. Every way but the way I'm pointing. Here, direction I'm pointing in. It's all just steep hills. There's no easy access to anything. Do is, well, can brake, is clear this little piece out while we wait for the trees to grow. As this brake, this provides the biggest area for the horses to romp around it. Not what we asked for. See, this will get to one higher than the ground, which we can step down. And then we'll have the third floor, which meets out here. And, okay, we do have a shovel. I don't know how these used ones wind up. Okay. I think if we dug in lower, which we're not, obviously, because and we're not placing it over there. Well, this is very unnatural the way I'm holding it right now. And there goes that one. Only one oak tree out here. Oh, no, you gotta know. Break. A break. So now we're jumping. I wonder if we can outrun these things. Let's find out. safe way down. Well, yep, we can move. Alright, I accidentally hit duck. That would be a reason why we didn't move. And let's get rid of crap we don't need. Goodbye. Goodbye. Break. I guess one of the bees followed us. Just to see if they're trying to find me still. I think they were. They lost their home. Yeah. While we wait for the trees to grow, dirt we don't need. Okay, we can press X, needs X. Nope. Wrong answer. Surprise, surprise. There we go. Bees trying to figure out who destroyed their home. Oh, well, that was wrong. I think they're still trying to figure out who destroyed their home. How about we stop placing things and Alright, so we got a tree. go in this direction, see if anything shows up. And we can undock. So, is this climbable? Well, we'll make it happen if it is. Did I see what I thought I saw? And we're on the complete opposite end. We shouldn't be seeing pillagers out this way. Yep, jump. Brake. How about food? Alright, that's too far. And like I say many a times, I kind of almost playing this deaf, because if I have the volume up any higher, you would be... No, I'm switching. You would be going deaf. It comes at the cost of me being able to hear what I'm doing. But when you're in a busy place, for example, you probably can't really hear it anyway, unless you've got headphones. How are we doing time-wise? Okay. Oh, we got more. I had the foresight to make a bunch. Brake. Not what I was looking for, but it does the same. Jumping. How many do we have? Got a bunch. Might want to... We're pressing. Might want to climb the mountain. Try to find the way back to the top. Oh, yeah, and yeah, I've had the position on because that's how I was trying to figure out where that, where the subway station for the Pillager outpost was. Jumping. Just don't really need that right now. For some reason, I keep thinking I'm seeing pillagers with their cows. Probably because we actually did see one out here. And of course, you can hear outdoor noises. As I got the windows open in the basement because it's actually warmer outside than it is in the basement. Alright, good enough. Just putting one of those. You know, in each section of this barn. That way we can kind of do this a little easier. Although the corners are going to suck anyway. There we go. That is not the correct answer. Of course it falls down. Oh yeah, that's not gonna work. We're gonna press. Then, yeah, I did it wrong. What a surprise. That too. Anyway. None of these grew. Interesting. Alright. No. We have to switch over. Bit of it, but that's fine. No, but of course it would go wrong. There's no other way for it to go. What we're trying to do is get up here. Although technically it wouldn't even matter. Actually, you're going to be 2 blocks above the ground, but still, it was worth knocking this down anyway. That was fine, actually. Again, it just does what it wants. Not what it needs to do. I know technically it doesn't matter, but if the thing were to get gutted, you'd be able to see it. And we're also at a point that, oh, we could have just continued. Alright, so we are... Hey. Not what I said. Or is this impossible? Nope, don't want. It's a bit impossible. Okay, nope, X. So let's just pull these out of the way right now. I'll get a couple more trees growing. And mobile adventures for this week is about over. Just cut this tree down. Cut a couple more. Know how far along we are in the day. That's a bit much there. So yeah, maybe I might just call it now. Let's actually plop this somewhere. Kind of need these things to be growing, and they're not doing that exactly. Well, we had a bunch more cobblestone if we needed it, but didn't go for it. But we don't have enough wood. Up something. Alright, so and that just popped in front of us. Anyway, it's time to call it the end for this episode of Mobile Adventures. Maybe I'll get this going a little further. GeorgeF551 saying, hope you enjoyed and have a good one.